Good morning, everybody. A very warm welcome to Kolkata. We are breaking a tradition. Indian Standard Time is always different. But I think this time we are making a concerted effort to bring in a revolution as to making the Standard Time better. So we are going to start at 9 o'clock. We've spent at least 6 months to a year trying to design this useful program. I'm sure you all appreciate having looked through the program. It is different. There are no didactic lectures. There are discussions, tumor boards, consensus, all sorts of things except for didactic lectures. We are very good rice eaters, and so post-lunch sessions are nightmares because everybody falls asleep. So we've tried to devise mechanisms and whereby people will remain awake because their brain should be working. That was the whole purpose of the meeting. The main theme of the meeting is though we have USI guidelines for various diseases, we are largely dependent on international guidelines, AUA, EAU, this NCCN, and so on and so forth. And there is no shame in admitting a large part of the practice, I emphasize, is beyond guidelines, except when we stand up in conferences. That is the real truth. Not that we deliberately don't follow. Economics come in the way, logistics come in the way, the culture comes in the way, and therefore, what really should happen through well thought out guidelines does not many times happen. And therefore, we decided, let us open up the discussion, let us admit that we are unable to follow guidelines many times, not all the time. We do try and follow guidelines, particularly in serious cancers, we do. However, what about creating a consensus as to what is the basic minimum requirement and what do we follow? Can we have a consensus on kidney, bladder, and prostate cancer at the very least? I know there will be differences of opinion. I know there will be various opinions about the format of the consensus. But let us make an attempt and see if we can get somewhere. On that theme, we have had umpteen stormy phone calls saying, where is my name in the brochure? Am I not lecturing anything? What slides do I have to prepare? Unfortunately, you don't have to. In most cases, you are being provided the forum. The most senior people have been appointed as unofficial monitors of this whole program, so that the consensus becomes a viable, recognized, alternative way of thinking. Because remember, we are actually in an era where medical doctors are no more gods. They are the point of challenge both by the patients, by the service providers, which are in India largely corporate hospitals, the government, the media, and hence we are completely in the clutches of the legal system. We need to have a fallback whereby wherever the consensus lies, as opposed to the guidelines, which are not possible to follow many of the times, we at least have a fallback as to we are not doing something illegal. With this in mind, we have constructed the entire program. We have had many sleepless nights with the Uro-Onco subsection of the Urological Society of India. And may I introduce myself? I'm Amit Ghose. I'm chairing this section. Ravi Mohan is the secretary, and one of the council members is Tarun Jindal, who has very expediently taken over the job, very, very difficult job of being the organizing secretary. Anant, may I ask you to come up on stage? We've had the honor to have Anand Krishnan sometimes with us, but has been a pillar of support, and we feel that at the end of our today's and tomorrow session, we will lead somewhere. This entire initiative has been taken by the Euro-Onco section of the USI, and therefore we feel that we will have some sort of consensus at the end of the program. With these few words, let us now focus on the program. And the first one we have got, now first also, before I forget, we have got a presence from all over the nation and also from abroad. We are very grateful. Somebody's talking behind me. We are very grateful that behind the efforts of the USI, we have had a tremendous support from international friends of ours, of which may I specially mention Professor Prakhar Das Gupta, who has taken immense efforts to stitch up the program, along with Simon Hughes, Raj Nair, Arnold Stenzel, and Alan McNeil. I can't see him in the hall just now. Can you? Yeah, no. He is the VJUI editor, with Khurshid Guru, who has been also a guiding force all along. In love with Calcutta, but we'll have his stories later on, hilarious stories, and we enjoyed every bit of it. With those few words, may I now open up the thing